army personnel and injured 3 others. Local input suggests that terrorist organization PAFF is active in the Rajouri area. Now, PAFF is another name for Jaish-e-Mohammed terror outfit and has been involved in most of the terrorist attacks in Rajouri-Poonch sector. We are also learning that the PFF and the funds for PFF are being arranged by Pakistani Army and the ISI from Pakistan itself. Meanwhile, a search operation continues in Baramulla as well, where the retired senior superintendent of police, Muhammad Shafi Mir, was shot dead while he was offering prayers at a local mosque. Visuals from that local mosque from yesterday, from where the attack took place. State police versus central agencies. We don't get to hear this skirmish as often. Meanwhile, in Tamil Nadu, the state police has registered a case against 15 Enforcement Directorate officials for allegedly preventing the Directorate of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption, the DVAC, in the state and its officers from discharging their own duties during the investigation in the Ankit Tiwari case. Now, what is the Ankit Tiwari case? Earlier, the DVAC had caught Ankit Tiwari, an Enforcement Directorate officer, red-handed while allegedly receiving a bribe of 20 lakh rupees. After the arrest of Tiwari, DVAC officers carried out searches at the official premises of Tiwari in the Madurai zonal office of the Enforcement Directorate. Now, DVAC officer in his complaint to Tamil Nadu has alleged that 15 ED officers, including an AD rank officer, stopped them from carrying out searches at Tiwari's official premises and the office premises, thereby preventing them from discharging their rightful duties, and interfered in the DVAC's investigation. Ankit Tiwari, who is a member of the 2016 batch of officers, has a background of prior service in the states of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, was caught red-handed, like I mentioned before, whilst accepting a bribe of 20 lakh rupees from a doctor in Tamil Nadu's Dindigul district in December this year. Ankit Tiwari was produced before a judicial magistrate in Dindigul and has been sent to 15 days of judicial custody in the meantime. Only recently, the Madras High Court recently dismissed the bail plea that was filed by Ankit Tiwari. But there's another controversy that's making its foray into the spotlight in Tamil Nadu. In a controversial turn of events, a 2019 speech by DMK Member of Parliament Dayanidhi Maran has resurfaced, sparking outrage over remarks about people from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Now, Maran had suggested that those from these states end up in menial jobs in the state of Tamil Nadu, to be specific. He went on to say that they're cleaning toilets or working as contractual laborers. Now, the BJP and the ruling RJD in Bihar, part of the INDIA alliance and the bloc, alongside the DMK, have condemned Maran's comments, considering them inappropriate for a leader advocating social justice. Now, the controversy centers around a 24-second video clip of Maran's 2019 speech, which went viral on social media. Maran, during the speech, which commemorates DMK patriarch M. Karunanidhi, discussed the party's anti-Hindi imposition stance and emphasized the importance of learning English along with Tamil. BJP criticized leaders of the opposition alliance for consistently making disparaging remarks about northern states.
कुछ लोग टॉयलेट साफ करने का काम करते, कुछ गंदगी फैलाने का काम करते, तो दयानिधि मारन जैसे लोग गंदगी फैलाने का काम करते। देश को तय करना है कि गंदगी फैलाने वाले लोग चाहिए या गंदगी साफ करने वाले।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में काम करती है, और जब इस प्रकार की जो भाषा बोलते हैं मैं उसकी निंदा करता हूं, लेकिन इसका जवाब श्री राहुल गांधी जी को देना चाहिए, श्री अखिलेश यादव जी को देना चाहिए, और जो ऐसी पार्टियों से अपने रिश्ते रखते हैं और उत्तर भारत में राजनीतिक सफलता की आस भी रखते हैं, इसका जवाब उनको देना चाहिए। हमारे लिए उत्तर हो, दक्षिण हो, पूरब हो, पश्चिम हो, सारा भारत एक है, सारे भारतवासी एक हैं, और देश की प्रगति में सबके सहयोग की अपेक्षा रहती है। और इस प्रकार के जहरीले बयानों के लिए अब देश में कोई आसान नहीं है। इस प्रकार के बयानों से किसी को कोई राजनीतिक लाभ नहीं मिलने वाला है। इसीलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी दिन दूना रात चौगुना बढ़ रही है, और जो बहुत इस प्रकार की क्षुद्र मानसिकता की राजनीति करते हैं और उनका एकदम पतन हो रहा है, उनका जनता स्वयं सफाया कर रही है। और आने वाले समय में हिंदुस्तान के हर राज्य में कमल का फूल दिखेगा।
देखिए, नीतीश कुमार और लालू यादव को चुप्पी तोड़नी चाहिए और इंडी गठबंधन से डीएमके को बाहर निकाल करना चाहिए। ये कोई पहली बार बयान नहीं दिया है। ठीक है आपने कि सनातन धर्म को जिस तरह से गालियाँ दी गई, और बिहार के लोगों को, हिंदी भाषियों को लगातार गालियां दी जा रही है। देखिए, जो तेलंगाना का चुनाव हुआ, उस तेलंगाना के चुनाव के बाद ये उत्तर दक्षिण का विवाद पैदा करना चाहते हैं। इनको लगता है कर्नाटक में चुनाव जीत गए, केरल में उनकी
Meanwhile, the resurfaced speech has reignited debates on language politics and accusations of playing the divide and rule card, with BJP suggesting that the INDIA bloc parties are once again attempting to exploit regional differences for political gain.
देखो, ये सारे लोग चुनाव आते ही इन सब लोगों पर भूत सवार होता है। ये लोग देश को तोड़ने वाले बयान देते हैं, देश तोड़क बयान। हमारे लिए चाहे वो अंग्रेजी हो या हिंदी बोलने वाले, हम लोगों ने सबको महत्व दिया है। और हिंदी हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा है, हिंदी हमारी जननी है। आज मुझे खुशी है कि इसी प्रयागराज के, इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट प्रयागराज के हाई कोर्ट के एक जस्टिस थे, जिन्होंने आज से 2500 साल पहले, 30 साल पहले, उन्होंने सारे जजमेंट हिंदी में दिए थे। ये कौन सी बात है? हिंदी तो हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा है। हम सभी भाषाओं का सम्मान करते हैं। हमारे लिए तमिल, हमारे लिए तेलुगु, सब प्रकार के भाषा को सीखना चाहिए, बोलना चाहिए, जो भारत में बोली जाती है, हर लोग सीखें। और हिंदी राष्ट्रभाषा के रूप में, हमारा राज्य भाषा के रूप में जो हिंदी राजभाषा है, इसका सम्मान करें। और ये कह करके कि अंग्रेजी बोलने वाले और हिंदी बोलने वाले झाड़ू लगाते हैं और अंग्रेजी बोलने IT जाते हैं, ये विकृत मानसिकता का परिचायक है। अंग्रेजी चले गए, अंग्रेजी का गुलामी जो है, आज भी इन अंग्रेजों का मानसिकता इनके माथे पर छाया हुआ है।
Let's also get you the latest COVID-19 update. There were 656 new cases reported in the last 24 hours, bringing the total active cases to 4,054 as per the Union Health Ministry's Sunday report. Additionally, one new death was reported from the state of Kerala. Now, again, important to note that a total of 63 JN.1 COVID variant cases have been reported in the country till the 24th of December. 34 cases from Goa, 9 from Maharashtra, 8 from Karnataka, 6 from Kerala, 4 from Tamil Nadu and 2 from Telangana. The World Health Organization is also urging Southeast Asian countries, including India, to set up surveillance and protective measures due to the emergence of the JN.1 subvariant. Dr. Poonam Khetrapal Singh, WHO's regional director, emphasizes the need for strengthened surveillance, sequencing and data sharing. Despite the low current risk of JN.1, precautions are crucial, especially during the holiday season. Now, vaccination remains crucial, with approved vaccines protecting against severe outcomes, including the JN.1. On the other hand, Dr. N.K. Arora from INSACOG highlighted that no extra vaccine dose is currently needed for protection against JN.1. The surge in cases led to increased testing, with Thane, Odisha, several other places in the country reporting instances of JN.1 subvariant. Health experts have reassured that despite its higher transmissibility, the JN.1 subvariant is not causing severe infections or hospitalizations. Authorities in Mizoram urged adherence to COVID norms during festive seasons, and union ministers over there have reassured citizens that the tourism industry is going to continue to work on, stating that there's no need to panic, citing the nation's successful past efforts in combating the COVID-19 pandemic. Maharashtra is preparing with ventilators and oxygen cylinders in light of 50 new cases, 9 caused by JN.1. Kerala reported 128 new cases, and Mizoram urged COVID-appropriate behavior during the festive season. Bihar has directed increased RT-PCR testing at various airports. Mock drills are being conducted across the nation. Of course, there is the COVID concern, but for the National Capital Region, pollution is another problem to deal with. Delhi NCR continues to grapple with severe air pollution, marked by an air quality index that is exceeding the 400 figure, as reported by the Central Pollution Control Board. Now, despite the enforcement of GRAP 3 regulations, which were imposed just last Friday, the air quality in the national capital remains hazardous. The overall AQI level in the national capital at 6 a.m. today was measured at 401, indicating a critical category. The persistently poor air quality has led to health issues for residents, including a burning sensation in the eyes, various kinds of respiratory discomfort and throat irritations. Urgent measures are required as the air pollution has triggered the third consecutive day of the AQI exceeding the 400 mark. The situation is prompting authorities to implement restrictions, including a ban on certain types of vehicles and construction activities to curb pollution levels. Following the latest measures, non-essential construction work is now prohibited in the Delhi National Capital Region under the GRAP the graded response action plan, the Commission has also restricted the use of BS3 petrol and BS4 diesel vehicles in the national capital and surrounding areas. Governments are instructed to enforce these restrictions, make sure they're followed to the T. The Central Commission attributes the decline in air quality to unfavorable met conditions, including fog and haze with low wind speeds. Meanwhile, the Sports Ministry, after suspending the Wrestling Federation of India, has urged the Indian Olympic Association to form an ad hoc committee for governance in the meantime. Now, the letter from the Under-Secretary to the Government of India emphasized the need for corrective measures. Before the elections were held, the WFI was run by an ad hoc body formed by the IOA after former President Brij Bhushan stepped aside. Now, the suspension followed the WFI's hasty announcement of organizing the Under-15 and Under-20 nationals. In an official release, the Sports Ministry has said that the announcement for the national competitions was hasty and that due process was not being followed. Arbitrariness at the hands of the WFI president, saying that the same place, the same premises is being used where the sexual harassment is being alleged from. The ministry detailed that the announcement by Sanjay Singh was against rules, as a minimum of 15-day notice was needed for the wrestlers to prepare for the upcoming events. On the other hand, following Sanjay Singh's election as WFI president, Sakshi Malik resigned from wrestling in protest, whilst Bajrang Punia returned his Padma Shri award in solidarity, and he put it down on the Kartavya Path pictures on your screens.
उसमें जो कारण दिया गया, एक तो दिया गया है कि 60 टर्म में आपने अंडर-15 और अंडर-20 का 20 नेशनल का घोषणा किया। दूसरा रीजन दिया गया है कि ऑफिस आप उसी पुरानी जगह से चला रहे हैं। तीसरा दिया गया कि नंदिनी नगर में आपने क्यों दिया, और चौथा दिया गया कि ये डिसीजन, उस डिसीजन में लोचब नहीं मौजूद थे। ये 4 डिसीजन दिया गया है, मतलब 4 कारण दिया गया है। उसका रीजन ये था कि 25 यूनिट इलेक्शन में जुटी वहां इकट्ठा हुई थी। उसके बाद हम लोगों ने एक मीटिंग लिया वहीं पे, इलेक्शन के बाद फिर वहीं मीटिंग को एडजर्न करके इलेक्शन के बाद सारे लोगों की एक मीटिंग हुई, जिसमें यह निर्णय लिया गया कि यह इसी कैलेंडर ईयर में करा दिया जाए, जिससे कि बच्चों का साल न बर्बाद होने पाए। समय कम था, उसके लिए सारे लोगों ने समर्थता जाहिर किया। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नंदिनी गोंडा में था जहां की 2 नेशनल एक साथ कराया जा सके, इसलिए वहां पे नेशनल सबकी सहमति से अलॉट किया गया। सारी स्टेट फेडरेशन की अनुमति सहमति दिया, तब जाकर के वहां अलॉट किया गया।
फेडरेशन का नेक्स्ट मूव क्या होगा इस फैसले के खिलाफ? क्या
नेक्स्ट मूव है, अभी हम लोग जाकर के सरकार से बात करेंगे, मोदी जी से बात करेंगे, खेल मंत्री से बात करेंगे, क्योंकि बच्चों का भविष्य खराब हो रहा है।
नई फेडरेशन जो हुई है उसी दिन उनकी विदाई कर दी थी 21 तारीख को ही, और आज उन्होंने अपना बता भी दिया कि हमने कुश्ती से संन्यास ले लिया है। साक्षी मलिक ने भी कुश्ती से संन्यास ले लिया है। तो दोनों जो जिसके ऊपर आरोप लगा था, जिसने आरोप लगाया था, दोनों लोग संन्यास ले लिए। तो अब दोनों लोग शांति से नई फेडरेशन को चलने दें, बच्चों का भविष्य अच्छा होने दें, जिससे कुश्ती जो रुकी हुई है, कुश्ती की एक्टिविटी आगे बढ़े। बार बार कुछ नेशनल होना होता है तब तक एक्टिविटी रोक दी जाती है। रह गए उनके नहीं रिश्तेदार की बात जो उन्होंने कहा है, वो क्षत्रिय समाज से आते हैं, मैं भूमिहार समाज से आता हूं, तो मैं उनका रिश्तेदार कहां से हो जाऊंगा? करीबी का जो आरोप लग रहा है, मैं भी उसी फेडरेशन में ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी था और वो प्रेसिडेंट थे। तो एक प्रेसिडेंट और ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी के बीच में रिश्ता रहता है कि नहीं रहता है? दोस्ती का रिश्ता होता है, बातचीत का रिश्ता होता है। ये तो रिश्ता था उनसे। अब अच्छा हुआ कि बुरा हुआ, अब जो बच्चे इस साल सर्टिफिकेट नहीं पाएंगे, जाके उन जूनियर बच्चों का आप इंटरव्यू ले लीजिए, उनसे पूछ लीजिए कि अच्छा हुआ है या बुरा हुआ है। ये वो बताएंगे कि अच्छा हुआ है कि बुरा हुआ है। चलती हुई कुश्ती को रोक देना, निर्धारित कुश्ती को रोक देना, कुश्ती में राजनीति ना आए ना, खेल को खेल की तरह रखा जाए। खेल मंत्रालय ने भी कुछ कंफ्यूजन में डिसीजन ले लिया है। बच्चों का भविष्य तो इस साल का तो खत्म हो गया। अंडर-15 और अंडर-20 के बच्चों का तो इस साल का सर्टिफिकेट गया, इस कैलेंडर ईयर का। अब इसके लिए यही चीज जाके हम उनसे बात करें कि आगे कुश्ती सुचारू रूप से चल सके, जिससे कि बच्चों का भविष्य अच्छा हो। अगर मंत्रालय हमारी बात को नहीं सुनेगा तो लीगल ओपिनियन भी लिया जाएगा। सेकंड ऑप्शन लीगल ओपिनियन का है।
Well, we're slipping into a quick commercial break. Meanwhile, take a look at this. Bengaluru, where chaos and innovation collide in a daily battle for mobility. Traffic is the biggest black dot in this progressive city. Our documentary delves deep into the heart of Bengaluru's notorious traffic problem. Take a look at this and we'll be back for more.
Bangalore traffic is an example of something that has gone wrong with our system.
We have more than 50 flyovers in Bangalore city. If flyover is a solution to traffic problem, Bangalore should not have traffic problem.
According to TomTom Traffic Index 2022, Bangalore is ranked as the second worst city in the world when it comes to traffic.
The speed limit at the ORR is 80 kilometers per hour, but our vehicle has only moved 10 kilometers per hour.
What Bangalore needs is a surgery, but what we have been offered repeatedly are band-aids.
Only on the world's first news OTT. News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
Welcome back. You're watching News9 Live. And take a look at this. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is scheduled to visit Russia from the 25th of December to the 29th of December as part of the ongoing high-level exchanges between the two nations. During the visit, he will hold discussions with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Industry and Trade, Denis Manturov, to address economic engagement matters. Additionally, Dr. S. Jaishankar will meet his Russian counterpart, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, to discuss bilateral, multilateral and international issues. But let's also take a look at what's going to be Jaishankar's agenda in Russia. The visit will also emphasize the strong people-to-people and cultural ties between India and Russia, with the engagements planned in Moscow and St. Petersburg. It underscores the stability and resilience of the India-Russia partnership that is characterized by the special and privileged strategic partnership. Now, various aspects of the bilateral relations focusing on trade, energy, defense and connectivity are expected to be addressed as the annual India-Russia Leaders Summit is deferred this year. Moving on, a plane with 303 passengers, mostly Indians, is set to depart for India after being detained by French authorities at a nearby airport over suspected human trafficking. The Nicaragua-bound flight, originating from Dubai, faced grounding at Vatry Airport in France, about 150 kilometers from Paris, over trafficking concerns. French authorities permitted the A340 aircraft, operated by Romanian company Legend Airlines, to resume its journey. Now expected to depart around 10 a.m. local time. The plane likely heads to Mumbai in India, and the passengers' home country. Around 200 to 50 passengers, excluding those in police custody, of course, or those that are seeking asylum, are anticipated to leave France. As per estimates, nearly 50 passengers reportedly have filed for asylum. Despite the allegations, the airline's lawyer denied involvement in trafficking, affirming cooperation with investigators and potential claims for damages due to the reputational harm. The flight, including 11 unaccompanied minors, faced extended detention for 2 passengers. Investigations revealed that a partner company responsible for verifying passenger documents transmitted passport information to the airline prior to the flight. While suspicions suggest the passengers plan to reach Central America to potentially enter the United States or Canada illegally, an anonymous tip alerted authorities of possible human trafficking involvement as well. Human trafficking carries severe penalties in France, with a potential sentence of up to 20 years. And moving on, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge has openly contested the comments that were made by Vice President and Chairperson of the Upper House, Jagdeep Dhankar. In a letter to the Vice President about their Christmas meeting, Kharge said that the mass suspension of members of Parliament during Parliament's winter session was not a spontaneous reaction but a premeditated one, a move by the government. Kharge further stressed that the government has quote-unquote weaponized the suspension of members of Parliament to undermine democracy and sabotage parliamentary practices. Whilst acknowledging Dhankar's invitation, Mallikarjun Kharge mentioned his absence from Delhi and proposed a meeting upon his return to the national capital. He conveyed his willingness to meet at the earliest convenience upon his arrival. Now, additionally, Mallikarjun Kharge echoed Karan Dhankar's proposal to address post-winter session issues. He emphasized that the key is remaining faithful to the Constitution, the Parliament, the democratic principles, and that such a conversation needs to happen in the Parliament, not inside the Chairman's chamber. Moving on to Maharashtra, where Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar has lashed out at Mallikarjun Kharge and Sharad Pawar, saying that there is no leader who can come close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He emphasized that there is no one who can provide the kind of leadership that Prime Minister Modi does at this point in time. Reacting to reports of Mallikarjun Kharge being portrayed as the Prime Minister by the INDIA opposition alliance, Junior Pawar said, "Compare both Kharge and Modi. Whom will the Indian citizens vote for?" he asked. He added that India's name is now recognized globally and all credit for that goes to the Prime Minister and his continuous efforts.
आज किती काही म्हटलं तर नरेंद्र मोदी साहेबांच्या शिवाय दुसरं कणखर नेतृत्व नाही ही सिद्ध खरी गोष्ट आहे. आता मधी खरगेंचं नाव पुढे आलं, इंडी त्यांना म्हणतात तो ग्रुपला इंडीनं. तुम्ही बघा खरगेंना इथं उभं करा, मोदी साहेबांना इथं उभं करा. तुम्ही एक भारतीय नागरिक म्हणून कुणाला मतदान करा, कारण उद्याचं मतदान तर देशाचा पंतप्रधान कुणाला करायचं ह्याच्यावरच होणार आहे, दुसऱ्या कशावर होणार नाही. आज जागतिक पातळीवर जे आम्ही बघतो, आज भारताचं जे नाव झालेलं आहे, किंवा कुठेही दिवाळी असो काही असो, गेले 9-9.5 वर्ष तिथं स्वतःच्या परिवारात दिवाळी कधी साजरी केली नाही. प्रत्येक वेळेस बॉर्डरवरच्या त्या बाबतीमध्ये जो कोणी जवान आहे त्या जवानांच्या बरोबर ते दिवाळी साजरी करतात. आपल्याला आज वेगळी राजकीय भूमिका घेतली आहे. माझे विचार कायम अतिशय स्पष्ट असतात आणि मीच नाही, मी तर 60 वर्षाचा पार झाल्यावर घेतली. काहींनी तर त्यावेळेस 38व्या वर्षी घेतली. आपण पाठिंबा दिलाच की नाही. चव्हाण साहेबांचा विरोध होता, दादांना बाजूला केलं गेलं. वसंत दादा पण एक चांगलं नेतृत्व होतं, तरी देखील दादांना बाजूला केलं गेलं आणि जनता पक्षाला देऊन त्या पद्धतीचा निर्णय झाला. म्हणजे मागे कोणी निर्णय घेतले नाही असं नाही.
Moving on, in the vibrant city of Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh, preparations for the grand inauguration of the Ram Temple are in full swing. Take a look at this. Dedicated workers are meticulously cleaning marbles and stones, ensuring the construction materials reflect the sanctity and the grandeur of the upcoming temple. Simultaneously, Ayodhya is hosting an awe-inspiring exhibition showcasing meticulously crafted idols of gods, all made from clay. This event not only celebrates the rich tradition of artistic craftsmanship, but also adds a spiritual dimension to the entire atmosphere, of course. Now, the city is adorned with creativity as skilled artists paint mesmerizing depictions of gods on its walls. These intricate paintings serve as a visual tribute to the divine, creating a captivating ambience that echoes the cultural and religious significance of Ayodhya. Meanwhile, visuals have also come in of the newly redeveloped Ayodhya railway station ahead of the grand inauguration of the Ram Temple, the grand consecration ceremony, the Ram Temple, which is going to be held on the 22nd of January 2024. Meanwhile, that's not all. Christmas merriment has taken over India with great fervor, that too. And citizens from different states are celebrating the festivals in their own unique way. Let's take a look at how India is celebrating Christmas despite the cold wave and rising air pollution. The national capital saw a lot of people, but take a look at that. In Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu, a lot of people getting together to attend the Christmas Mass. Well, now you have the national capital. Take a look at that. The iconic church in central Delhi. Always a proper exhibition outside in the premises of this particular church. In Madhya Pradesh as well, be it Jabalpur, be it Ujjain, hundreds gathered, lined up, thronged churches. Churchgoers attended midnight masses and, of course, visuals coming across from Ujjain and Jabalpur. And this one in Kerala, another one of those Christian strongholds in Thrissur that you can see. Various sects of Christianity celebrating Christmas their own way. Of course, different dates, but the essence is the same. Even in Jharkhand, ladies and gentlemen, in Ranchi, churchgoers celebrated Christmas with full festa. Now you have Arunachal Pradesh, and in Arunachal Pradesh, you have a lot of Christian population. Mass prayers were held across Arunachal Pradesh, and when you're talking about Christmas, you must go to Panaji as well. Goa celebrates Christmas the main church in Panaji being lit up. Of course, from Vadodara in Gujarat to Jharkhand to Madhya Pradesh, everything being decked up and adorned for the Christmas festival. Even the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, could not help himself from being washed over with festive spirit and was seen singing Christmas carols.
One very important thing which my school taught me in Mumbai was an intense sense of nationalism. And I think that was something which the school taught us, that the nation is above all of us. And that we will give up everything. We will give up everything, if it comes to it, even our lives, as so many people in our armed forces do, in the service of the nation. We lost 4 of our members of the armed forces a few days ago. So just as we celebrate Christmas, let us not forget those who on our borders who are giving up.
Well, it's always great to see everybody getting together in the festive spirit of Christmas. Slipping into a quick commercial break here. Lots more continues right on the other side.
Since the last 2 years, Khalistani terror groups are threatening Indian diplomats in Canada, US, UK and Australia. Investigations of these threats led us to the first ever abduction and killing of an Indian diplomat, Ravindra Matre, in UK's Birmingham in 1984. Our months-long investigation finally led us to the murderer of Ravindra Matre, who has been hiding in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for the last 40 years. Watch our exclusive documentary, Murder of an Indian Diplomat, where we reveal the man who killed Ravindra Matre.
Stop searching, start streaming. Download the world's first news OTT, News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
There is certainly a wall of capital coming into the clean tech, climate tech space, not just in India but across the world.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
Pakistani spy agency ISI's sinister plan to target India. Training women to honey trap top civil and military officials. Counter honey trapping ops initiated by India. But gullible victims still caught in the web. Top military intelligence experts break down the web of deception. Colonel Hani Bakshi explains the phenomena of honey trap.
जहां पे भी आपको लगेगा, उनको लगेगा कि there is a person who is susceptible to women, who is making a lot of women friends on the social media. That is where they will make a spoof account.